Hello guys, welcome to another wonderful session of learning with prep class. It's always good to have you here. I am Olabisi. I am a prep class tutor. In this video, I'll be solving questions 36 to questions 40 of the Akwa Vocational Studies Agricultural Science for the year 2018. Subscribe to our channel. This is where you can get more videos like this that would help you in the preparation for your examinations. Also, don't forget to like and comment on this video. Alright, so let's move on to the first question, which is question 36. A farm structure where animals are slaughtered and butchered is known as dash. A. Abattoir. B. Slaughter slab. C. Raised platform. D. Animal house. Okay, so a farm structure where animals are slaughtered and butchered is known as dash. The answer is abattoir or slaughterhouse. So an abattoir is also known as a slaughterhouse. So it is a facility where animals are slaughtered and butchered, most often to provide food for humans. Also, abattoir is used to slaughter animals that are not fit for human consumption and animals that can no longer work, such as the retired work horses. Okay, so an abattoir is a facility where animals are slaughtered and butchered. So the answer here is A, abattoir. A farm structure where animals are slaughtered and butchered is known as abattoir. So the correct option is A, check. Question 37. Which of this is not a source of document? A. Receipt. B. Diary. C. Voucher. D. Credit note. Okay, so for us to be able to answer this question, we need to find out the meaning of each of the options. So the first one is receipt. What is receipt? Receipt is a proof of payment. It is a document confirming that a customer received the goods or services they paid a business for. For example, if I purchase some goods, the document I'm giving as a proof of payment is the receipt. So this means that I have paid for the goods that I got. Okay, so the second option is diary. Diary is a record of events, transactions, or observations kept daily or at frequent intervals. Some of us keep diaries as well. You write, you do a record of everything that happens in a day or in a period of time. Okay, so that's a diary. A diary is a record of events, transactions, or observations kept daily. It is kept daily or at frequent intervals, maybe over a period of time. All right, so voucher. Voucher is an internal document describing and authorizing the payment of a liability to a supplier. Do you know what liability is? So liability is something owed, okay? Something someone owed or a company owed. This could be money, it could be goods or services. So a voucher is an internal document describing and authorizing the payments of a liability to a supplier. Okay, so what about credit note? Credit note is a document sent by the supplier to the customer notifying the customer that he or she has been credited a certain amount due to an error in the original invoice or other reasons. So perhaps a customer asked for some goods or services and there was an error in the invoice that was sent, or some of the goods were damaged. So this credit note is going to be sent by the supplier to the customer, telling the customer that he or she has been credited the amount for the damage or for the error in the original invoice. Okay, so that is that. So which of these is not a source of document? So receipt, voucher, and credit notes are all source of documents, but a diary is not a source of document. Okay, so the correct option is B, diary. Check. Question 38. Which of the following is a biting and chewing insect pest? A, weevil. B, cotton stainer. C, grasshopper. D, mealybug. For us to be able to answer this question, we need to find out what a biting and chewing insect pest means. So, biting and chewing insects are insect pests that possess strong mouth parts that enable them to bite and chew plant parts. So, all of these insects have strong mouth parts that enable them to bite and chew plant parts. So, examples of biting and chewing insects are locusts, grasshopper, crickets, termites, beetles, leafworms, armyworms, and some others. Okay, so in the option, we have grasshopper, weevil, cotton stainer, and mealybugs. So grasshopper is a biting and chewing insect. But the other options, that is weevil, cotton stainer, and mealybugs, are piercing and sucking insects. So what are piercing and sucking insects? Piercing and sucking insects are insect pests that have mouth parts that enable them to pierce through plants and suck liquid materials from the plant tissues. Okay, so weevil, cotton stainer, and mealybugs are piercing and sucking insects, while grasshopper is a biting and chewing insect. So the answer here is C, grasshopper. Which of the following is a biting and chewing insect? Grasshopper is a biting and chewing insect, while the other options, weevil, cotton stainer, and mealybugs, are piercing and sucking insects. So the correct option here is C, check. Question 39. Farm record that show the number of seeds, seedlings, insecticides, feeds, and drug is dash record. A. Consumption. B. Sales. C. Inventory. D. Inputs. So for us to be able to answer this question, we need to find out what kind of records each of these options are. What are consumption records? What are sales records? What are inventory records? And what are input records? So this would enable us to be able to choose the correct option. Okay, so before we find out the meaning of the options, what is a farm record? A farm record is a document. In most cases, it's a book that is used to keep account of different activities, events, materials regarding the farm operations. So it is used to keep all the activities that go on in the farm. Okay, so the first one is consumption record. Consumption record is a record of the farm products consumed by the farmer and his family. So not all the things produced in the farm are for sale. There are some of them that will be harvested and consumed by the farmer and his family. So these farm products that are consumed by the farmer and his family is put into the consumption record. So that is where it is being recorded. Okay, so that is consumption record. Consumption record is a record of the farm products consumed by the farmer and his family. Okay, the next one is sales record. From the name sales record, you should be able to find out what that means. So sales records are used to keep a record of all sales made from farm produce. So everything that was sold in the farm is recorded in the sales records. Okay, so the next one is inventory record. This is a record that shows all the equipment and their value, and also the current state of the equipment. It contains the date of purchase of the equipment and sometimes their description. So this record is usually taken at the beginning and end of the production year. So this is used to record all the equipment, the current state of the equipment, when it was purchased, and the description of the equipment. Okay, so what about input record? This is a record that is used to keep track of all agricultural inputs, that is all the things that are used in the farm, such as the fertilizers, seeds, seedlings, insecticides, feeds, drug, and so on. This record often contains the amount that was bought, what has been used, and the amount that is left. Okay, so this is the input record. It is a record that is used to keep track of all agricultural inputs, such as fertilizers, seedlings, insecticide, feeds, and drugs. So this means that this is our answer. So farm record that show the number of seedlings, insecticides, feeds and drug is input record, because all of these are the inputs used in the farm. Okay, so the correct option here is D, check. Now, the last question in this video, question 40. The original book that contains daily records of farm business transaction is dash. A, journal. B, debit note. C, check. D, receipt. Okay, so for us to be able to answer this question, we need to find out what each of these options mean for us to be able to choose the correct one. Okay, so the first one is journal. What is a journal? A journal is a detailed record of all the transactions done by a farm business over the course of a day or a period. So this is done daily or over a period of time. Okay, so it is a record of all the transactions done by a farm daily or over a period. Okay, so what about debit notes? A debit note is a document issued from a buyer to their seller to indicate or request a return of their funds due to incorrect or damaged goods received, purchase, cancellation, or other specified circumstances. Okay, so remember in one of the questions we did, we talked about credit note. Okay, so now this is debit note. So when some of the goods received is damaged, when a buyer cancel purchase, that document that the buyer sent to the seller to indicate or request for a return of their money, that is called a debit note. So a debit note is a document issued from a buyer to their seller to indicate or request a return of funds. Okay, so now the next option is check. So what is a check? A check is a document that orders a bank to pay a specific amount of money from a person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. For example, let's say I want to give you a check. So I write your name in that check. This check is a document that orders my bank to pay that amount of money that is written on it to the person whose name the check is issued. So your name is there. So it orders my bank to pay you that specific amount of money. Okay, how about receipt? Receipt is the proof of payment. It is a document confirming that a customer received the goods or services they paid the business for. So after you have paid for goods or services, the document given to you is called the receipt. This is a proof of payment. This is to show that you have paid for the goods or services that you got. I have explained the meaning of each of the options. So now, which of them is correct? The original book that contains daily records of farm business transaction is dash. So the answer is journal. So journal is actually the book that contains all the daily records of a farm business. So all the transactions and everything that goes on in the farm is put in the farm journal. Okay, so the correct option here is A, check. I hope you enjoyed this video and you're able to learn a lot. Please make sure that you like and comment on this video. Also, subscribe to our channel. This is where you can get more videos like this, and then you can join us on WhatsApp by clicking on the link in the description below. Till I come your way next time. Bye.